The Adorable Karen Brennan 1978. Pretty Gail McKenna, 1984 photo shoot. San Francisco circa 1918. White 5-ton motor truck loaded with Sperry flour bound for Los Angeles. October 1942. Manpower, junior size. Proud young fighters in Uncle Sam's Junior Army visit a scrapyard in Roanoke, Virginia, to see for themselves what happens to the scrap they collect for our war industries. Circa 1902. Richmond, Backus Company Office, Detroit. April 1st, 1923. Easter at White House, with a number of the Easter Bunny's cousins in attendance. February 1923. Washington, D.C., or vicinity. Puppies, probably Pokey, lovably little. Boston, 1906. Copley Square and Museum of Fine Arts. California circa 1911. Rudy Unholzen brother. The German-born lightweight, Wright, died in 1916 at the age of 34. October 1890. Mississippi cotton gin at Dahomey. Which way to the break room? From San Francisco circa 1940 comes this uncaptioned photo of Joe DiMaggio and friend and at least a dozen cups of coffee. Who can explain what's going on here? San Francisco, 1928. Hudson convertible sedan at Golden Gate Park. Toledo circa 1909. Produce Exchange and Ohio Building, Madison Avenue at St. Clair. Washington, D.C., circa 1937. Dog Mart. Metropolis, whom Edward A. plat of the town of Sherman, in the county of Fairfield and state of Connecticut, appointed an honorary deputy sheriff on November 4, 1938. San Francisco circa 1940. Joe DiMaggio and friend pouring coffee in restaurant kitchen. November 1908. Gastonia, North Carolina. Rush Merrill, Lorraine Mill. 12 years old. Been in mill 3 years as duffer. Gets 75 cents a day. Said sometimes gets 3 to 5 hours a day resting between times. San Francisco circa 1920. Dora's 6 to 87 passenger sedan. October 1913. Seen on the farm of S.N. Whiteside, near Waxahachie, Texas. Children come out here from the town to pick cotton, outside of school hours. Ages range from 4 years up to 15 and more. Lake Erie circa 1905. Freighters Chili William Castle Roads at Cleveland. September 1942. Substitute materials something new in apple containers. To replace nail-bound wooden boxes, a fiber carton has been developed. San Francisco, 1919. Hudson Autos at Land's End. Woburn, Massachusetts, circa 1906. Ice harvesting on Horn Pond bearing off the floats. (1903) Mechanics Hall, Boston. Circa 1903. Symphony Hall, Boston, Massachusetts. Brooklyn circa 1905. Oriental Hotel and Bath House, Manhattan Beach, New York. Asbury Park, New Jersey, circa 1903. Landing through the surf. Washington, D.C., circa 1937. U.S. Labor Department and Interstate Commerce Commission building. Passageway between ICC and Departmental Auditorium sections. Unidentified 1970s magazine cover girl. San Francisco circa 1920. Back at 2150 Washington Street. Moon Auto. Boston circa 1903. London Ancients and Honorables leaving Rose Wharf on steamer Nantucket for harbor trip. Somewhere in New England circa 1900. Children at home. Richmond, California, circa 1912. First Wesley Methodist Episcopal Church. August 1941. Chickens raised by FSA borrowers is good right down to the bone. Sunday dinner for flying cadets at Craig Field, Selma, Alabama. August 1941. Trains in the Southern Railway Terminal in Atlanta, Georgia. From somewhere in New England circa 1900, it's the group of serious-looking students. San Francisco circa 1928. Cadillac 5-passenger coupe at Golden Gate Park. July 1922. Washington, D.C. Snapped at the tidal basin. Mildred Kapleck with her pet opossum, the latest novelty introduced at the bathing beach. Boston, Massachusetts, circa 1915. Christchurch, Old North. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, circa 1908. Wood Street, looking east. Circa 1906. Suburban station at Petoskey, Michigan. A locomotive of the Grand Rapids, Indiana Railroad. San Francisco circa 1923. Stutz Roadster at Golden Gate Park. Portland, Maine, circa 1905. Grand Trunk Station, India Street. August 1941. tank driver, Fort Belvoir, Virginia. June 24, 1916. Police show at Sheepshead Bay Speedway rescuing woman from runaway horse. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. 28th Street Apartments Times. Louisville, Kentucky, circa 1905. 4th Street. July 31st, 1922. Laurel, Maryland. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. Congressional Library Power Plant. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Beautiful photo shoot, Maria Whitaker, 1989. Enchanting woman, Dawn Grayson, 1960s. Actress Kirsten Imrie, 1985 photo shoot. San Francisco, 1920. Hudson touring car. June 1968. Cartoonist Charles M. Schultz reclining outside next to cutouts of his Peanuts comic strip characters carrying political campaign signs. July 1937. Mayflower Accessories Garage Company Service Station, 17th and L Streets, NW. San Francisco, 1927. Hudson Sedan Palace Grounds. June 1943. Turkey Pond, near Concord, New Hampshire. Women workers employed by a Department of Agriculture timber salvage sawmill. 18-year-old pitwoman Norma Weber. June 1943. New Britain, Connecticut. A child care center opened September 15, 1942, for 30 children, ages 2 through 5, of mothers engaged in war industry. San Francisco, 1928. Graham Page at Golden Gate Park. October 1941. Amsterdam, New York. Street scene. April 1918. 5 Mac Senate girls provocatively posed amid serpentine confetti. San Francisco, 1938. Yes, Columbus did discover America. A jeweler and car with definite political views. Circa 1910. New Orleans, Louisiana. NO. Mississippi River from Hotel Grunewald. October 1941. Washer for sale. Sears Roebuck store at Syracuse, New York. December 1913. The whole force of workers in the cotton mills of Stevenson, Alabama. Several of them are apparently under 12, but I could not get the ages. Nash Showroom, San Francisco, 1933, where selling points include the worm drive axle and a center headlight that turns with the steering wheel. (1935) School in Red House, West Virginia. July 1942. Rupert, Idaho. School bus at swimming pool. July 1942. Klamath Falls, Oregon. Picnickers in City Park. (1906) Abbott Hall, Marblehead, Massachusetts. The town's Romanesque City Hall and Clock Tower, completed in 1876. The Duck Inn, Charlottesville, Virginia. From a series of pictures I took when I was a first-year student at UVA in 1979. circa 1900. Chicago Alton RR, stationed at Springfield, Illinois. Marmon Touring Car, San Francisco, 1918. Washington, D.C. S.S. Banks, March 20th, 1923. We suspect this has something to do with traffic safety. Washington, D.C., circa 1917. Training Camp Activities Commission Luncheon for Army Men. July 1942. Rupert, Idaho. Dressing after swimming. July 1942. Klamath Falls, Oregon. At the sideshow of the circus. Step right up, folks, and see the pop-eyed girl. For a paltry dime, behold the serious boy. December 1st, 1940. Schrafft's, 625 Madison Avenue, New York. Exterior. English former glamour model Gail McKenna, 1986. February 1912. Tiny, a 7-year-old oyster shucker, does not go to school. Works steady. Been at it 1 year. Maggioni Canning Company. Port Royal, South Carolina. San Francisco, 1919. Grant Motor Truck at Public Library. June 1942. Chico, California. City Park. Shady, but in a good way. Washington, D.C., circa 1917. Training Camp Activities Commission. Folks at 51st Wedding Anniversary, February 17, 1952. We return to Blue Earth, Minnesota, and the home of Abe and Julia Tuttle. Now, we'll have some of this delicious creamed corn. Abe at home, January 20th, 1952. The Tuttle patriarch amid a hothouse of floral motifs in Blue Earth, Minnesota. San Francisco circa 1921. White motor truck at Palace of Fine Arts, California State Automobile Association. March 14, 1922. Washington, D.C. The old Corcoran House on H Street is now being razed to make way for the huge building which is to be the home of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. July 1942. Klamath Falls, Oregon. Boys in City Park on a Sunday afternoon. October 1942. Men and women make efficient operating teams on riveting and other jobs at the Douglas Aircraft Plant, Long Beach, California. Stafford County, Virginia, circa 1928. Cabin on alley by Fall Run, Falmouth. July 1942. Klamath Falls, Oregon. Carnival of the Circus. April 1926. Polly Frelling is all it says here. Polly enjoys nature, cherry blossoms, and walks along, or in, the tidal basin. San Francisco, 1925. Type V63 sedan at Downley Cadillac. Back when power steering was supplied by the chauffeur. Fredericksburg, Virginia, circa 1928. Cabin on Barton Street. July 1942. Nyssa, Oregon. Farm Security Administration Mobile Camp. Soda pop is delivered at the camp for Japanese Americans. Atlantic City circa 1906. Boardwalk and big hotels, the Marlborough Blenheim and Traymore, from Young's New Pier. At left, the attraction, creation of the world. New York. February 21, 1912. Maddie Baldwin, the lightweight boxer from Boston, aka the Bunker Hill Bearcat, died at the age of 33 in 1918, a victim of the Spanish flu epidemic. November 27, 1905. Chicago State Street looking toward Adams. New York circa 1905. Fifth Avenue at 57th Street, looking toward Vanderbilt House, Plaza Hotel and entrance to Central Park. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Maria Whitaker in a stunning outfit, 1989 photo shoot. The wonderful Tina Louise, 1955. The amazing Donna Evan, 1988. The Mississippi River circa 1908. Steamboat landing in Union Station at St. Paul, Minnesota. July 13, 1964. San Francisco. Republican National Convention. Governor Mark Hatfield of Oregon delivering keynote address at Cow Palace. July 12, 1964. Ku Klux Klan members supporting Barry Goldwater's campaign for the presidential nomination at the Republican National Convention, San Francisco, California, as an African American man pushes signs back. March 28, 1938. Telegraphic protests against merger bill flood U.S. Senate. Extra messengers were needed today to deliver the thousands of telegrams protesting against the government reorganization bill. Circa 1928. Mrs. Ellis's store, Falmouth, Stafford County, Virginia. May 1st, 1959. Downtown San Francisco, California Street East Bay Vista from Nob Hill. New York, 1914. Charlie White. Chicago lightweight, born 1892 in Liverpool. Retired from the ring in 1925. New York circa 1908. Broadway at Times Square Hotel Astor and Astor Theater. San Francisco circa 1924. Donnelly Cadillac Agency, Any Corner, Van Ness O'Farrell. Looking up Fremont Street in Las Vegas from South 2nd toward the Fremont Casino Carnival Room around Christmas 1958. A 1960 parade welcoming Republican vice presidential candidate Henry Cabot Lodge Jr. to Danville, Illinois. New York circa 1913. Park Avenue and Vanderbilt Hotel, south from 36th Street. Detroit circa 1901. Screw Ferry Excursion Steamer Pleasure at Belle Isle Ferry Dock, Woodward Avenue. Greene County, New York, circa 1902. Palinville Hotel, Catskill Mountains. Buffalo, New York, circa 1900. Tift House, Main Street. Demolished 1902. Washington, D.C., 1920. Tidal Basin Bathing Beach, Tom Miller, 1912 Irving Street Northeast. New York circa 1922. Paul Specht Band. Circa 1907. North Adams, Massachusetts. Main Street, looking west. San Francisco, 1931. Auburn at Golden Gate Park. November 1942. Babies Hospital, New York. Nurse training. At the ping pong table in the game room, Susan Petty, student nurse, enjoys a bit of relaxation after a busy day's work in the wards. Union Square, San Francisco, looking north up Powell Street, circa 1958. I believe my parents were in America at the time. July 1943. Washington, D.C. Waiting for the parade to recruit civilian defense volunteers. Entertaining themselves with the handheld device known as a newspaper. New York circa 1922. Paul Specht Orchestra, Hotel Astor Roof Garden. March 14, 1925. New York. Isabella Fosta, soprano. San Francisco. Door touring car, 1921. October 1922. New York. Cop is all it says on this glass negative depicting The stunning Donna Evan 1990. Washington, D.C., circa 1921. National Benefit Life Insurance, Interior. July 12, 1922. New York. The soprano and vocal coach Estelle Liebling, instructor of Beverly Sills and a young Meryl Streep. May 1943. San Francisco, California. The Bank of America. (1952). Pine Street at Montgomery, San Francisco. From circa 1924 San Francisco comes this modishly draped miss descending from her sedan. San Francisco, 1952. Fairmont and Mark Hopkins Hotels. New Haven, Connecticut, circa 1902. Banquet in Alumni Hall, University Commons, Yale College. Hampton Roads, Virginia, circa 1895. Hygeia Hotel, Old Point Comfort. July 1943. Washington, D.C. Spectators at the parade to recruit civilian defense volunteers. July 1943. Washington, D.C. A man selling flags and buttons at the parade to recruit civilian defense volunteers. February 1943. Daytona Beach, Florida. Street scene. Howard's Chicken Shack. We're going to phone 9363 and see if they can deliver to 2023. July 1943. Washington, D.C. Spectators at Office of Civilian Defense parade to recruit civilian defense volunteers. February 1943. Daytona Beach, Florida. Sunday morning street scene in Midway. McGill's Fish Market and Fan Lunchroom, Pine Street and 2nd Avenue. June 23, 1964. Ford Showroom in Wheaton, Maryland. Boston circa 1890s. Jamaica Pond Ice Company delivery wagon. San Francisco, 1925. Buick touring car from rear. The Jersey Shore circa 1901. The beach at Asbury Park. July 1959. Detroit's 1960 look. Sneak preview of the new models. Oakland, California, circa 1918. Orchard Tractor Demonstration Fagel Motors Company Walking Tractor. Delaware County, New York, circa 1902. Ulster, Delaware RR Station, Fleischmann's, Catskill Mountains. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Actress Sarah Young poses for a photo. Beautiful actress Sophia Loren, 1960s. Charming June Palmer, 1964. New York, 1908. Basketball at Columbia University Gymnasium. June 3, 1920. New York. Columbia University Class of 1909. Fagel Heavy Truck Assembly, Oakland, California. Factory, 1918. June 1943. Arlington, Virginia. Girls entertaining their guests in one of the two-card rooms at a residence for the women who work in the U.S. government for the duration of the war. June 1943. Arlington, Virginia. girls entertaining their guests in one of the two-card rooms at a residence for the women who work in the U.S. government for the duration of the war. August 8, 1962. Washington, D.C. Man in lounge chair representing U.S. indifference to world affairs at the height of the Cold War. May 31, 1943. Gallipolis, Ohio. Soldier at Decoration Day ceremonies. May 31, 1943. Girl Scouts at Decoration Day ceremonies. Cincinnati circa 1900. Burnett House and Chamber of Commerce, 3rd and Vine. Clara, March 16, 1952. We return to colorful Blue Earth, Minnesota. Washington, D.C., 1920. Congress Heights Yankees basketball team. San Francisco circa 1917. Collate Tour Sedan at Golden Gate Park. (1901) Steamer Priscilla, Fall River Line. At the time of its launch in 1894. Almost welcomes AO and Mess. The Washington, D.C. Masonic Temples Hello. July 1937. Old Negress of Greene County, Georgia. May 1943. Arlington, Virginia. Reading the Sunday paper at Arlington Farms, duration residence halls for women war workers. New Jersey circa 1901. Coleman House, Asbury Park. April 1954. New York. Actress Cloris Leachman at home with husband George England and baby Adam. The Dentist, Atlantic City, 1901. September 12, 1946. Washington, D.C. Showroom at Superior Motors. Client, Griffith Consumers Company. March 5, 1929. Kalb Band serenades President and Mrs. Hoover at White House following inauguration. Tamaulipas State, Mexico, circa 1891. Tamisai Bridge. Locale based on catalog of the W. H. Jackson Views, 1898. (1904). Sagamore Hotel Dock, Green Island, Lake George, New York. May 31, 1943. Gallipolis, Ohio. Young horn player at the Decoration Day ceremonies. July 1918. Fagel Motors Truck Factory Front Office. Oakland, California. November 1942. Nurse training at Babies Hospital, New York. Beautiful Tina Louise, 1958 photo shoot in the river. January 1943. A blimp of the U.S. Navy is led onto the apron of an East Coast lighter-than-air station before taking off on a patrol flight over the Atlantic Ocean. Oakland, 1918. Crating Fagel walking tractors at factory. Fredericksburg, Virginia, circa 1928. Warehouse, Hoop Pole Factory, 307-13 Sophia Street. Circa 1923. Peerless touring car at Lake Tahoe, California. Oakland, California, circa 1918. Walking tractor Fagel orchard tractor demonstration. Atlantic City circa 1908. Bathing Beach and Steeplechase Pier. Chicago circa 1955, and Dad is off to the office, or wherever Daddy goes in the morning. October 1941. Theater and Workers Section at Holyoke, Massachusetts. San Francisco, 1923. Studebaker Rally Car. October 1941. Main Street, Holyoke, Massachusetts. Paterson, New Jersey, circa 1911. American Locomotive Company. Rogers Works. 040 locomotive for New Jersey Zinc Company. Summer 1912. District of Columbia Parks. Children at fountains and pools. September 1938. Express Agency Office and General Store in coal mining town of Scotts Run, West Virginia. September 1938. Capels, West Virginia. Coal miner waiting for lift home. San Francisco, 1928. Franklin convertible coupe at Land's End, Presidio. June 1943. Arlington, Virginia. Washing clothes in one of the laundry rooms at Idaho Hall, Arlington Farms, War Duration Residence Hall for Women Government Workers. Circa 1900. Worley's Unloading or Penna RR Docks, Erie, Pennsylvania. March 31, 1941. Robert Glassford, residence in Hobe Sound, Florida. Master bedroom. Alice Morgan Carson, architect. (1861–65). Soldier in Union uniform and cap box standing with musket and bayonet with scabbard. New York, 1908. The end of the rampage. Alice under control, and thinking it over. Two zookeepers with restrained elephant lying on the ground after running free around the New York Zoological Park, Bronx Zoo. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Enchanting Maria Whittaker, 1991. Beautiful actress Donna Evan, 1980s. Glamour model Corinne Russell, 1981. San Francisco circa 1918. Studebaker. Well used, with traveling cases marked RJW and LA. Hampton Roads, Virginia, circa 1895. Boat landing at Old Point Comfort and Hygeia Hotel. Oakland, California, circa 1920. Offices of the Oakland Tribune. Ship launching in Portland, Maine. The men behind the launchings. High in the cab of a whirly crane, these workers operate the derrick which raises the iron gates and releases water into the dock where ships are built. September 1936. House for sale in Manchester, New Hampshire. August 1940. Port Gibson, Mississippi. San Francisco circa 1920. Dale the Truck. Washington circa 1920. Laundry at Library of Congress. San Francisco circa 1927. Page 6 to 45. Broom $1,350 as equipped. It says on the front of the car. The Jersey Shore circa 1908. Marlboro Blenheim Hotel and Boardwalk, Atlantic City. New York, 1958. Singer Anita O'Day, half-length portrait, facing front. Library at SCPC, Signal Corps Photographic Center, for enlisted men only. Manhattan circa 1906. Times Building. Tom Jensen, Los Angeles police officer, chef at the police academy and part-time actor. June 1953. Activities at the Sun Fun Festival, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Mickey Spillane, one of the beauty pageant judges, on the beach with a woman. San Francisco, 1920. Underwriters Fire Patrol Truck. Market Street, San Francisco, 1920. Washington, D.C. KKK Parade on Pennsylvania Avenue, August 8, 25. May 1943. Arlington, Virginia. Idaho Hall, Arlington Farms, a residence for women working in government for the duration of the war. May 1943. Stockton, California. Mexican agricultural laborers who have come to help harvest beets eating their lunch. September 1911. Crowded tenement used by cranberry pickers, bravos or black Portuguese, from the islands of Cape Verde, in bogs near Wareham, Massachusetts. My grandfather, a carpenter, may have built this house. We do know that he rebuilt the family home that was destroyed in the 1906 earthquake and fire. February 6, 1925. 3 Washington Society Buds and Spectacle. Fredericksburg, Virginia, circa 1927. Tenement 203 Charlotte Street, residence of Governor Hill. Photo taken on commission from Mrs. DeVore of Chatham. San Francisco circa 1924. Oldsmobile Touring Sedan. October 1940. Painting the cylinders of aircraft motors at the Pratt Whitney plant, East Hartford, Connecticut. American actress Markie Post, 1970. Los Angeles traffic cop/actor/chef Tom Jensen again, in the second photo of this exciting series. June 1943. Oswego, New York. Children recruited for farm work during the summer, waiting to start for work outside the U.S. Employment Service. March 1952. Marlene Dietrich makes her stage debut in Chicago. Pensacola Bay circa 1900. Pensacola Harbor, Florida. San Francisco circa 1918. Chalmers Model 6-30 Roadster facing northwest corner Van Ness Avenue and Sutter Street. (1904). New York Central Hudson River RR Station, Albany, New York. Cincinnati circa 1905. Lafayette and Franklin Banks, 3rd Street. October 1940. Trucks outside of a starch factory, Caribou, Aroostook County, Maine. There were almost 50 trucks in the line. Some had been waiting for 24 hours for the potatoes to be graded and weighed. San Francisco circa 1917. Chalmers Town Car. The ideal conveyance for European nobility. Florida circa 1900. Tampa Bay Hotel. A 500-room resort opened in 1891. Circa 1899. RR Depot at Garrison, New York. From circa 1959 Scottsdale, Arizona, we bring you this Kodachrome slide of the Lulu Bell restaurant on Main Street. (1899) Boat Drill USS, New York. San Francisco, 1920. Haynes 4-passenger coupe. (1864) Bermuda 100, Virginia. Photographer, possibly Matthew Brady, at Butler's Signal Tower, Cobb's Hill, Appomattox River. April 24, 1953. Towson, Maryland. Goucher College, Library Interior 3. Moore Hutchins, client. (1899) A Boat Crew USS, New York. Atlantic City circa 1905. Come on in, the water's fine. Binghamton, New York, circa 1905. Kilmer Building, Chenango Street. June 1943. Arlington, Virginia. Ordering clothes from a mail-order house at Idaho Hall, Arlington Farms, a residence for women who work for the U.S. government for the duration of the war. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Beautiful photo shoot, Maria Whitaker, 1989. The beautiful Angela Leah of the 1970s. A beautiful photo shoot of Kirsten Imrie, 1985. Acapulco, 1961. James Coburn and Ralph Tager in our second publicity still from this short-lived NBC series. May 1943. Buffalo, New York. Patsy Grimm helping with housework. Their mother, a 26-year-old widow, is a crane operator at Pratt and Letchworth. (1925) A Rio coupe overlooking San Francisco Bay, Embarcadero Piers and Yerba Buena Island. May 1943. Buffalo, New York. Beverly and Grimm, 11, leaving the store after making the family purchases from a list left that morning by her widowed mother. October 1935. Russ Nicholson, grandfather of all the Nicholsons in Nicholson Hollow, Shenandoah National Park, Virginia. February 1936. Narrow Street in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Los Angeles circa 1953. Tex Williams, host of Town Hall Party on KNBH-TV. Oakland or thereabouts circa 1957, and two cars that have just taken out a stoplight. New York City Hall and Park, 1900. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your great-grandparents are? Detroit circa 1901. Windsor Ferry Dock, Woodward Avenue. Steamers to Bois Blanc Island, Boblo Island, Ontario. San Francisco circa 1927. Jordan Airline 8. December 1925. Christmas tree and Santa Claus at Crocker National Bank, Post Montgomery Streets, San Francisco. Los Angeles, 1954. Betty White with elephant on her daytime TV show. New York circa 1900. Bowling Green and Broadway. San Francisco circa 1919. Cadillac touring car and sedan. Bill, Emily, yes, December 25, 1951. We returned to fur-friendly Blue Earth, Minnesota. December 1938. Negro home near Charleston, South Carolina. San Francisco circa 1919. Truck moving house, Vista Grande. Even for 1919, this rig looks ancient. Castine, Maine, in 1965, on Wadsworth Cove Road. Mom with my sister in the baby carriage and my grandparents. July 1943. Glen Echo, Maryland. An attendant washing the sand from people who are going to the swimming pool from the beach at Glen Echo Amusement Park. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1955. Girls baking. San Francisco, 1919. Shell Oil Company, service station number 27. Massachusetts circa 1900. Bathers at Cottage City, Martha's Vineyard. Acapulco, 1961. Our third and final visit with the cast of this short-lived NBC detective series starring James Coburn and Ralph Tager. My sister Christine, probably Christmas 1968, which was my own first Christmas, as this was the year I was born. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1955, and our second visit with the fabulous Baker sisters. Charming Lonnie Anderson, 1964 photo shoot. San Francisco circa 1920. Oakland touring car at Golden Gate Park. April 1935. Boys smoking log. Reedsville, West Virginia. New York circa 1900. Waiting for the train, depot near Poughkeepsie. December 1941. Christmas in the home of a government executive in Virginia. Oakland, 1957. Accident on tracks. From Chicago circa 1965 comes this uncaptioned snap of a lady in a kitchen showing an onion who's boss. Dickey Family and Christmas Tree, 1913. December 23, 1921. Washington, D.C. Little Betty Z, daughter of the ambassador from China, and Madam Z meet the American Santa Claus, who called to visit her at the legation today. This picture is from the early 1960s. Every year my mother's family gathered at the farmhouse to celebrate Christmas Eve. For a brief few years Santa arrived during our party to distribute gifts. I was young enough and excited enough not to notice the absence of my Uncle Tommy during Santa's visit. Janet, Christmas 1959. We returned to the Baltimore home. Cincinnati circa 1907. 5th Street north from Race. Washington, D.C., 1937. Washington Gas Light Company, 10th Street Northwest. Oakland or vicinity circa 1957. Road construction accident. October 1934. Children in front of their new home. Reidsville, West Virginia. Alcoholics, Greenwich Village, NYC, 1947. Circa 1940s. Joan Davis Fame Award. The radio star and early television comedian who posthumously attained a new generation of fans with cable reruns in the 1980s of her ancient sitcom I'm Mary Joan. San Francisco circa 1924. Oldsmobile sedan. December 29, 1923. Horse Christmas Party, Animal Rescue League. Washington, D.C., circa 1918. Service club couples dancing. Montgomery County, MD, circa 1950. Potomac Electric Power Company commercial kitchens, restaurants and lighting. Tacoma Park Bakery. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Lou Varley's stunning photo shoot.